Okay, so good afternoon, students. Welcome back. Am I audible to all?
So you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today is laboratory session, and before moving to the session, we have to discuss what about your test and how you appeared, what marks you got. So if we can evaluate your test here itself. Okay, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Vanshika? 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 Vanshika Bhatt? Vanshika?
यस सर हेलो सर
हाँ, कहाँ सो रहे थे? नींद आ गई थी क्या?
नो सर
मैं इतनी देर से बोल रहा हूँ वंशिका वंशिका वंशिका। आपने टेस्ट
सर
सबमिट
मैं
नहीं, आपने टेस्ट नहीं दिया था?
सर दिया था
Then why didn't hand it in?
सर आई हैव ऑलरेडी handed in my test.
Yeah, you can see you didn't hand it in. Just viewed.
नो सर सर मैंने सबमिट कर दिया था सर
सबमिट होता तो यहाँ दिखाता ना, ये viewed दिखा रहा है। Are you able to see it? Your name?
यस सर
And the test which can anybody able to see it? What is it? Can anybody able to see it? क्या कोई समझ सकता है क्या लिखा हुआ है?
No, sir.
So you will get marks accordingly, Vanshika. So the way you submitted. Okay, so I'm starting with the first, Adish. So those who are submitting late, so they will be, they are going to get negative marking, you can say. So first, Adish, and one more thing, Vanshika, I told that submit in a single file. You submitted 3 different images also. So do you have questions? What I asked? Check. Okay, so question number first was describe principle of spectrophotometry, how you utilize it for the estimation and the quantity and quality and the quantity of DNA. So this was your first question, and okay, so principle of spectrophotomic technique measure how much chemical substance absorb light by measuring the intensity of light of beam of light as a beam of light possessed through sample solution. So basically absorbs or transmits light over certain range of wavelength. DNA quantity usually through spectrophotometer. Nucleic acid absorb light at okay, so Adish, first question is your wrong. You didn't describe the principle. So what really that principle means? So in this you have to describe the Lambert-Spear's law. So the absorption depends upon the concentration. Spectrophotometry work on the Lambert's and Spear's law. Okay. So you didn't write that thing. And second question was how you will acquire quality and the quantity. So in the SO quality and quantity, you should mention that the absorbance is 1, then the quantity is going to be 50 nanogram per ml, and the ratio of 250 to 60 is going to be there. So the first question, you didn't get any marks. Just I think I can give you half marks for that you have written the things chemical substance absorbs light by measuring. Okay, so for this I can give you half marks. Okay, so question number 2, question number 4 you attempted. So the question number 4 was explain different form of same size of DNA. Okay, why different from same size DNA run differently on average electrophoresis? The gel medium contain many pores through which sample DNA pores smaller the DNA size, further the UV light DNA supercoil run faster in circular. In this also you didn't write why they run different size. So here is I already mentioned you different forms are there, supercoil, linear, but why they are running differently. So here also you didn't answer. This is for you is 0. You have to mention why the supercoil is running different speed, why the linear is running at different speed, and why NIC1 is going to run at different speed. Okay, so this you need to explain it. So size wise all are of same size. There is no size difference in them, but still they are migrating different speed. So question number 4 is 0 for you, Adish. Then come to the question number 2. So the question number 2 is describe the role of different reagent used in DNA extraction. So lysis buffer contains STS, break apart the cell membrane, it's fine, right? Then the T buffer protect the nucleic acid from degradation by RNAs and DNAs. It's not the thing. EDTA it used to chelating agent which chelate magnesium ion, that's fine. Phenyl chloroform isomer alcohol, denature protein, and remove the soluble phase. Okay, this is also fine. Okay. Okay, so this is a question number 2. Okay, so this is fine. So I'm giving you full marks for it. However, just a minute. Tris EDT, how Tris EDT is protecting your nucleic acid that you should write. So for that, I'm giving you 4. Adish?
Yes, sir.
Note down what marks you are getting and in the end tell me the total. Okay, so 4 marks in question number 2. So 0.5 in 1, 0 in 4th, and 4 in 2. Now moving to the question number 3. So the
Sir,
question.
excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, is it possible you can just check the, you can just evaluate the exam sheet by one student per time?
I'm doing one
Four.
student per time only.
Yes, sir.
At a time,
One
I'm at a time. I'm
student at a time.
Sorry.
Sir, one student at a time only, not in front of whole class.
Then what's the problem in it?
Sir, everyone is saying this thing.
Yeah, by this way you will be able to know that what wrong thing others have done, so that you should not do that thing. Okay. So I will evaluate in front of all of you, so that you will be able to know that what mistakes you are doing, and in the coming exam, if you are going to do that, so this is by this practice you will be able to know that there is no biasness type of things are there. Otherwise, you will say that to whom you given the more marks, to me you given the less marks. Please increase my marks. So by this way, everyone knows that what type of the marking is there, and what mistakes you are doing.
But sir, everyone is not comfortable.
What comfort in it? What comfort or discomfort is there? In what you are not feeling not comfortable? I'm not insulting you. Am I insulting you? Adish? Adish?
Yes, sir.
Have I used any word of insult?
No, sir.
I insulted you in any way
No,
while you
sir.
are evaluating your sheet?
No, sir. Sir,
Are
what I
you,
was, sir, I was
I have,
asking, will you be like checking everyone's paper in this entire 2 period?
yes, one by one I will evaluate everyone in front of all of you. Okay, so third question is, what is the third question? So question number 3 was describe the role of different agent used in extraction of plasmid DNA. So now about the extraction of plasmid DNA. Suspension buffer, trace HCl, maintain pH level, EDTA chelating agent, and the RNase is denaturing. That's fine, that's right. Lysis buffer, SDS disrupt. So the lysis buffer, what is the lysis buffer composition? Lysis buffer composition is not just SDS, it also contains NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So you have to describe that role of that sodium hydroxide also. Okay, then coming to neutralization buffer, it is acetic acid and the potassium acid. That's fine. It is used to neutralize the alkaline sample. Yes, that's right. So 3 components. So 2 components are right. One is half. So here you are getting 4 marks. Question number 3, 4. Then the last question is describe the star activity. What point we have to keep in mind while performing double digestion? Okay, star activity is the relaxation or alteration or the uh, significant from the optimal for the enzyme. So here you need to mention that what optimal condition we are referring. That include optimal pH and optimal buffer concentration. While performing double digestion DNA, we should keep out our eyes on ice. This is not the answer. Here the answer is that we should check the buffer compatibility because the star activity is there because we are assumed it's a buffer compatibility. If the buffers are compatible, then only you can perform the experiment. So this is simply about the star activity and this question related to the star activity. So they are specific for their buffer. So if 2 buffers are compatible for these enzymes, then only you can perform this experiment. So here I'm giving you 2.5. So Adish, just tell me the total.
Sorry, sir, I haven't keeping count.
Okay, so it is going to be 11 for you. Okay, so this is 11 is of your uh, theory parts. So Viva and your lab report that are remaining. So that I will do later. Adish, yours is 11. Okay, so at the moment it is 11. This 11 is out of 25, not of 45. Okay, so next is Atoiba. 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 Yeah, Atoiba is absent today.
Sir, Athoiba is not in call.
Sorry?
Sir, Athoiba is not in call.
Yeah, that's why Atoiba is absent. So wait to next. So next is Ayushi. Ayushi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now it's your turn. Okay, so first is principle principle of spectrophotometers. So here where is the used to measure the amount of DNA. So where is the principle of spectrophotometer? Okay, so DNA quantification is used to measure the average amount of DNA present. It's not the average amount, it's the amount. DNA present in the sample to check purity, which can be done by spectrophotometer analysis. Spectrophotometer used for the absorption of light in the liquid. Means the quantity and frequency present in the so molecule absorbs different wavelengths of light, various degrees, and mostly have specific wavelength. In case of the nucleic acid, it is to be 260, while the microprotein is 280. Spectrophotometer depends on the principle. Yes, we have numbered slides here. Okay, so yes, 1 microliter, 260 unit amount of nucleic contain 1 microliter solution given OD of 1. Yeah. So the concentration of DNA calculated multiplying OD with the conversion factor and the purified ratio. Okay, so it's if the ratio is 280, generally accepted as a purity. Yes, it's right. So one thing Ayushi didn't mention that that OD of 1 is equal to what amount? Okay, so that is a multiplying factor, conversion factor that you're writing here. So that
Yes.
what this OD1 is there, so that is the thing only missing in it. So for this, principally that you have well defined, it's Beer's limit law, absorbing this much. Okay, so for this 4.5. Okay, then the question number 4, describe why different forms of same size DNA run differently. Across molecule tends to migrate through the pores, so gel size has the help of migrations so based on different neat circular and travel while circular. It bends easily and adjusts its shape. Yes, that's right. Okay, so supercoil required. So this is right for you again. So this for this also the 5. Now question number 5, star activity. It is the alteration of the specificity. Yes, DNA under the non-standard condition, different forms of the optimum from the enzyme. Alternate alteration leads to new cleavage, non-specific one. Non-standard condition, high pH. Yes, right. High glycerol concentration. That's also again right. When the conducting double digestion, both the alteration by best how that works. Yes, this perfectly right. So again for 5 Ayushi. Then number 3, plasmid DNA isolation, 3 buffers are used. So the suspension buffer contain trace HCl, glucose maintain the osmolarity, RNase for degradation. Yes, right. Lysis buffer contain SDS, sodium sulfate, and NaCl. This is wrong. I show it's not NaCl, it is NaOH to provide the alkaline solution to destabilize membrane and denature the chromosome. The job of this urate is fine, but the component is NaOH, not NaCl. Okay, so this is wrong at this point. Another buffer contain acetate and potassium acetate that's neutralize and reunit of this also fine. So here you are getting 4 marks. And the question number 2, for extraction of various reagents. So here the reasons are going to be more. STS, which disrupt the membrane, migration and EDTA migrate. This one disrupt STS. And chloroform is also protein denaturant. Yes, that's right. The absolute ethanol isopropyl precipitate, the DNA release disrupt the cell. Yes. And the nucleic acid can be resuspended in sterile water. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so here also the 5. So Ayushi, you got 15 and 8, 23, 23.5. So you get 23.5. Ayushi,
Yes, sir.
is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these marks are of 25, not of 45. So next is Demetrius. Demetrius.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now it's your turn. Okay, so spectrophotometer is a device that uses absorption of light to the liquid medium, then the concentration of the substance for the liquid, different molecule absorb different wavelength of the light. Nucleic acid shows maximum yours into 60 nanometer, wrote in this much. Mathematically, numbers law, yes, fine. Sample purity, to 62 okay, and the ratio generally acceptable, less than this. Okay, it's fine, but Dimitri, you didn't write about the quantity. So 3 components were there, principle fine, quality is again fine, and the quantity is missing. So 3.5 for you. Okay, so there are different reagents: lysis buffer, trace magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride. Do we need magnesium chloride? No, we don't need magnesium chloride. Achha, we need KCl, lysozyme. Yes, we need lysozyme. NOH gives the alkyne buffer. Yes, you can use it. SDS membrane. Yes, fine. EDTA, that's chelating one. That's fine. Phenol chloroform again fine. Ethanol again fine. Okay, so this is for 5 for you, Demetrius. Question number 3. Then for the resuspension of it, maintain pH. EDTA, chelating agent, protect DNA, yes. RNase, degrade RNA, lysis buffer, NOH, and SDS. Provide alkaline medium. What this alkaline medium do? That you should write also. It is break apart lipid membrane. Glacial estate neutralize the pH, allowing the DNA renature. That's right. Potassium acetate, convert estate. Okay, so here also one is missing. So 4 for this. Washing buffer, elution buffer, ethanol, it's all common. Gel electrophoresis molecule DNA separate. Electric field through a gauze. These molecules traveling through gauze. Single stranded DNA support DNA. Fragile can bend easily. Yes. So linear. So 5 for this. So next is the star activity. Star activity is property of endonuclease where under what is non? Okay, non-optimal condition may recognize sequence, that is okay. In the conducting buffer, we should both restriction engine can work simultaneously and be compatible. Yes, perfectly fine. So Demetrius for you is going to be 15 plus 7, 22.5. Okay,
Okay, sir.
that's fine. Or do you feel that somewhere you should get more marks?
So could you tell me what was missing in that, the third
Which?
question?
In question number 3rd.
Answer 3.
This one? This one?
Yes, sir.
So in question number 3rd, this when you are writing this NaOH, it provides the alkaline medium. The main thing is you should write it provides that alkaline
Okay,
medium
denatures.
denatures the DNA. That's simple.
Okay, sir.
Because the role of NaOH is denaturing the DNA. We don't need alkaline medium. We need an alkaline medium to denature it. Okay. So this is the missing.
Okay, sir.
And in this question number 3, the main 3 buffer you have to write. So buffer 1, buffer 2, buffer 3. In this buffer 2, the most important one, that's why calling it the alkaline lysis method. So alkaline lysis, what this alkali is doing, that you should write. Okay. For you 22.5. Okay, so next is Devanshi. So Devanshi, your paper should I evaluate or not? Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
If you are not comfortable, then I can take. I won't evaluate your paper.
No, sir.
Hmm?
It's okay.
If you feel that you are not comfortable, then I will evaluate it myself, and whatever marks I'm going to give you, they are going to be final. So what should I do?
Sir, you can evaluate. I have no problem.
Okay. So the first question, question number 2, you have attempted lysis buffer. Lysis buffer is used to break open cell membrane. Lysis buffer contain STS, destabilize, stabilize the membrane, rupture of the cell membrane, release its content. Yes. Here, if you write lipid, that is going to be a great thing. T buffer used to protect nucleic acid from degradation from RNA and DNA. So how it do? So that you should also write. EDTA used to chelate, divalentine, yes, phenol chloroform, isomer alcohol, denature the protein, that's fine. Chilled isopropanol for the precipitation of DNA sample out of solution, that's right. Spectrophotometer principle, okay, this is done. So here we are getting 4.5. Principles of spectrophotometer, the reaction that nucleic acid system requirement, purity, optimity, spectrophotometer use and reaction of light to liquid plasmid. Observe different variant, that's fine. Okay, and the maximum is, okay, so B, yeah, here is the spectrophotometer based on the Beer-Lambert law, that's fine. Okay, so maximum absorbance 260 and the protein at 280. Sample purity is the ratio of the 260 to 280. And below it's fine. So about the concentration, it is missing. So it is going to be 3.5, 4 and 3.5. Okay, Devanshi. And resuspension buffer is RNA, lysis buffer, STS. So where is NOH? NOH is not there in it. So neutralization buffer, acetic acid, potassium acid to neutralize everything sample from what STS. It converted STS to insoluble PDS. What is PDS? Potassium dodecyl sulfate.
Yes, sir.
So washing buffer ethanol used to remove, it helps. So here 4 again. Gel medium contain pores, DNA superpulse. So here you can't nothing for it. Question number 5, star activity. Fluid that seen from the optimal condition while performing double digestion should keep restriction enzyme sample dies. So one part is right, one is wrong. It's 2.5. So your total is going to be 8, 10, and 4, 14. 14, Devanshi, is 14. How do you think? Any question is I got to give you less marks? Would you like to defend?
Sir, question 4.
Question number 4. The question number 4, if you read the question number 4, question number, explain different, run differently. Why they run differently? So you didn't write why they're running differently.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you written, it's I already asked this thing I'm asking on the. What can you read what is written? Supercoiled runs faster than the open circular. DNA linear sustains less. What is it? For me, what is it?
Also not getting what I wrote in screen.
Then you expecting us to evaluate and give you marks also. It happened. जब हम लिखते थे हम भी यही सोचते थे हम भी लिखते हमारे टीचर नंबर नहीं देते लेकिन लिखते हम ही खराब थे ठीक है This is the reason why I didn't give you marks in it. Okay, I didn't ask how you are going to visualize it. The main aim is to. Okay, so yours is 14. Okay, Ishita, you handed late, so it is going to be 1 mark, whatever you're scoring. So that is going to be -1. Ishita, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Well, no, sir.
I'm not going to deduct, so don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so first is spectrophotometry. The phenomenon takes place due to the help of device called spectrophotometer, spectrophotomic technique. This is from the Lambert-Spear's law. Yes, it's right. It's also right. And the DNA contains all have 3 different roles. Okay, for you also quantity is missing. So for that again you are going to get 3.5. There are different reagent used: phenol, lysis buffer, chilled isopropanol, T buffer, chloroform. Okay, so what their job is to do? membrane and isopropanoid precipitate, gene buffer pH, and chloroform to prevent DNA degradation. Prevent DNA. Okay, so chloroform is wrong. So the role of chloroform is not to prevent the degradation of DNA, that is prevent DNA cutting, while protein removal. Okay, so protein removal is how it is going to remove, that you should write.
Okay, sir.
And denaturation protein, and you should write SDS somewhere. So lysis buffer, what the lysis buffer contain. Here the term reagents is there, not the reagents individual component I'm asking. So this is question number 2. So again here the 3.5. Role of different reagent in extraction, elution buffer पहले ही आ गया. Used to do unbound protein, resuspension buffer, suspend the protein buffer, the help which help in DNA denaturing? No. Washing buffer, used to wash this thing. Neutralization buffer used to provide environment which plasmid DNA can bind. Silica, no. Lysis buffer used to disrupt the cell membrane. Okay, so first thing, you didn't write the composition of the buffers. If you're not writing the composition of the buffers, then you can't say what reagent you are referring. So washing buffer, what is the washing buffer? How it removes the unwanted protein? What is neutralization buffer? So what medium, what environment it is going to provide you? And lysis buffer disrupt the cell structure. So what component of lysis buffer is going to disrupt the structure? Okay, so just 1 mark for this. I think it should be 0, but 1. 3.5, 3.5, 1. Okay, so different form of same size of DNA run differently. Happens because smaller DNA fragment supercoiled runs. Okay, so here's the 0. Star activity is a change in the change, increase or decrease. Okay, in the specific restriction enzymes, the specificity of RE restriction enzyme to cleave the DNA, that is for sequence which are identical. No. What is it? So you should write as your earlier student. They have write up conditions, pH, and the ionic requirements. So you have to mention that. So when dilution of double done taken, that sample should be kept on ice now. Denaturation of protein. You are denaturation protein करना ही नहीं ना. प्रोटीन तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए आपके सैंपल के अंदर, तो उसको क्या रखना है इसको. So here also 0. So 3.5, 3.5, 7, 1, 8. So just giving 9 just as a grace mark. Ishita?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel
Yes,
that
sir.
I give you less marks, or you need some of questions you should get more marks? You can defend your answers. In first, I
So
gave
actually,
yes.
in some questions, there's my mistake that I have not explained it correctly.
So marking is good, or marking is not good.
So the marking was fair, but like I was even not clear. That's my fault. I think so.
Okay, should I move to
That
next? Then?
yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so next is Janvi. Janvi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Janvi, Principle of Spectrophotometer, BS Ember's law, that's fine. OD of 1, yes, 55 micron. So this is the one that I was referring. So you write 50. It is 55. It is 50, not 55, but okay, I will accept it. Ratio should be 1.8. Ratio of what? Ratio of what? You should write that. So this is missing in it. So here's a 4.5 for you, or 1. Then different reagent lysis buffer contain NaCl, provide osmotic synthesis HCl, EDTA is EDTA. Development, what is this? Janvi, what is the EDTA? Janvi,
Divalent metal ions.
what it do with the divalent metal ion?
I didn't write the sentence correct, sir.
So that is required. STS disrupt the cell. How it is disrupting the cell? And proteinase cut apart histones. It cut apart everything, every protein. It's chloroform phenol isomeryl, so you didn't write it also. So half marks for this. 0.5. Role of different agent, tris, buffering agent, glucose, antinosonate, degrade RNA, STS disrupt cell wall. STS is not disrupting the cell wall, it is disrupting the cell membrane. NaCl provide alkaline environment. NaCl is not the agent, it is NaOH, destabilize membrane and denature chromosomal DNA. So role is fine, but reagent is wrong. Neutralization buffer contain glacial acetic acid and normalize alkaline environment, neutralize reaction plasmid, renature plasmid and also contain STS, also contain STS insoluble. Okay. Diana is not okay, so this one is wrong. So here is a 4.4, not the 4.5. Okay, just it is 4. The third isopropanol, but chilled. Point to remember while performing double digestion, all stepped ice DNA must be contaminated often. Or 0 for this. No star activity, nothing. You attempted only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 questions already missed. So in first you got 4.5. Second you got 0.5. Third you got 4. So 9. And this you got 0. Okay, you didn't attempt that one question. Janvi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so कितने हो गए तुम्हारे 9?
Yes, sir. 9.
Okay, so next is Kshitiz. Kshitiz, you submitted 6 minutes late. So up till 5 we may accept, but 6 now you are taking quite very long. So for you definitely going to be -1. But first I have to read it. So Kshitiz, please read it what you have written. I don't think I will be able to read it. Kshitiz?
यस सर
So read it.
सर वो थोड़ा लाइट की वजह से थोड़ा क्लियर नहीं आता पिक्चर
और पढ़ो फिर, मुझे दिखेगा नहीं तो मैं कैसे 0 ही दूंगा ना, मेरे लिए तो कुछ लिखा नहीं तुमने, तुम अपनी लिखाई पढ़ के दिखा दो.
Principle of Spectrophotometer. So in the spectrophotometer, it is that the each compound absorb or transmit light over the certain range of wavelength. This measurement can also be used to measure the amount of light amount of known chemical substance. Spectrophotometer is one of the most useful methods of quantitative analysis in various fields such as chemistry, biochemistry, material and chemical engineering, physics, and clinical applications.
Okay, so in it you didn't describe the principle completely. First thing, didn't write with Lambert law, and also
थोड़ा flash कर रहे थे थोड़ा.
and also didn't describe how purity type of thing. So 0.5 for this. Question number 1, 0.5. Then the question number 2. What is, so read this question number 2. What this question number 2 is? I am also not able to read it. Role of different
The role of different reagents used in DNA extraction during the cell lysis. Different chemicals and reagents are used to break down the different cell compounds. Example, lipids are broken down by detergents and superfectants. Proteins are broken down by using RNA.
Protein are broken down by RNA. RNA is protein breakdown करता है. The first thing, it didn't describe this component. So 0 for this question. Hitesh. Question अगला पढ़ो भाई. अगला.
Sir,
ये कौन सा क्वेश्चन है?
quote.
हाँ पढ़ो.
Different form of same cells of DNA run differently by page. Gel electrophoresis, in which agrosgel is used. The agrosgel matrices sandwich and the electric current is. वो थोड़ा कट गया था पर वो उसमें ये लिखा है कि it is passed through the negative to positive electrode.
जो लिखा है वो पढ़ो. जो लिखा है वो पढ़ो. जो दिख रहा है वो पढ़ो.
तो कट गया ना दोस्तों.
तो कट गया तो मार्क्स भी कट गए भाई जो तुमने भेजा है. पहली बात तो जो लिखा वही गलत लिखा
पर वो.
हाँ बताओ.
सर पर वो उसमें तो जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस को पूछा था ना तो सर उसके बारे में
जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस सर बताना क्या कर रखा है. वो बताना डीएनए अलग अलग रंग क्यों दौड़ते हैं वो बताना है. इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस का तो पूछा थोड़ी मैंने. इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस में नेगेटिव से पॉजिटिव में जाएगा. चार्ज होगा तो उससे जाएगा. और दो इलेक्ट्रोड होते हैं. करंट इधर से उधर जाता है. ये तो इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस के बारे में है ना. ओके सो ये भी आपका 0. ओके सो अगला चलते हैं स्टार एक्टिविटी. स्टार एक्टिविटी पढ़ो भाई क्या लिखा हुआ है.
So it is the relaxation or allegation of the specificity of restriction enzymes mediated cleavage of DNA that occur.
Allegation क्या होता है भाई? Allegation. It is relaxation of allegation.
Or allegation of the specificity of restriction enzyme mediated cleavage of DNA that occur under reaction condition that suffer significantly for those optimal for the enzyme. Generally, star activity, that is the enzyme, cuts up the sequence that is an imperfect match to its known target for the.
Kshitij, I got disconnected, so please read it again. Star activity. It is the relaxation or allegation of the specificity of restriction enzyme. आगे क्या इसके बाद ये?
Mediated cleavage.
Mediated cleavage of DNA that occur under
reaction conditions that suffer significantly for those optimal for the
enzyme. Okay, so continue.
Generally, star activity, that is the enzyme cut subsequent that is an imperfect match to its known target, is caused by non-optimal reaction condition. These include high concentration of glycerol, greatly to 5% volume, high ratio of enzyme with units to micrograms of DNA.
Okay, so this is bit better than something. Okay, so what about the second part? So what precaution you should keep? what point you should keep in mind? क्या था question? Okay. What point do we have to keep in mind while performing double digestion? So ये आपने नहीं लिखा है. So इसमें for this you are going to get 2 marks. However, you didn't write the pH and other things, but still I am giving it to you for this. Next question is the role of different reagents.
So
So
कितने?
two. You have attempted
किसको
half.
आंसर?
हाँ
किसका आंसर के लिए 2 मार्क्स?
हाँ आधा ही है ना. स्टार एक्टिविटी का लिखा है.
ओके सर.
तो उसमें भी तुमने पीएच नहीं लिखा है.
यस सर, मैंने वो.
और ये जो एलिगेशन पता नहीं क्या क्या लिखा है वो भी गलत है. ठीक है. ओके सो नेक्स्ट द रोल ऑफ डिफरेंट रिएजेंट. रोल ऑफ डिफरेंट रिएजेंट पढ़ो इसको.
यूजिंग एक्सट्रैक्शन ऑफ प्लाज्मिक डीएनए.
हाँ
सर फिर इसके 3 सॉल्यूशन थे, तो तीनों सॉल्यूशन में क्या क्या
हाँ
होता
जो
है वो
लिखा हुआ
बता
वो जो
दीजिए.
लिखा हुआ वो जो तुमने लिखा हुआ सिर्फ वो पढ़ो.
यस सर.
हाँ
Yes, sir. It contains glucose, Tris, and EDTA. Glucose is added to increase the osmotic pressure outside the cell. This is a buffering agent used to maintain the constant pH, and EDTA to protect the DNA from degradation. Enzyme called DNase. EDTA binds divalent cations that are recovery for DNase activity. Solution to it contains NaOH, LPS, and detergent potassium and potassium acetate. The acetic acid neutralizes the pH, allowing the DNA strand to signaling
ये सॉल्यूशन 2 पढ़ना है एक बार भाई दोबारा.
denature.
It
The
contains
potassium
NaOH and
acetate.
SDS. आगे आगे कुछ नहीं है.
सर है.
कहाँ है?
एक मिनट सर मैं बताता हूँ. सर वो it contains नहीं होगा सर.
नहीं है ना. अपनी मर्जी से मत पढ़ो. कहाँ कहीं दिख रहा है भाई?
सर हाँ वो
कहीं दिखा कहीं है कहीं नहीं है. तो अपनी मर्जी से मत पढ़ो कि जो लिखा हुआ वही पढ़ने के लिए बोला मैंने. ठीक है. हाँ आप सॉल्यूशन 3 पढ़ो.
it contains a mixture of acetic acid and potassium
contain
acetate.
acid. Okay.
The acetic acid neutralizes the pH, allowing the DNA strand to denature. The potassium acetate, the precipitate the LDH from the solution along with the cellular debris.
ओके चलो ये तुम्हारा सबसे ठीक ठाक लिखा हुआ है. इसमें भी सॉल्यूशन 2 आपने डिस्क्राइब नहीं किया. सो स्टिल आई एम गिविंग यू 4 मार्क्स फॉर इट. ओके सो कितने कितने मिले तुम्हें? खत्म. इसके बाद 4 इसमें 2 इसमें 6 एंड 0 इसमें. ये क्या है? इसमें कितने दिए थे? सेकंड नंबर में कितने दिए थे क्षितिज?
I think sir 0.5.
चलो 0.5 इसमें 0.5 इसमें तो 7 फॉर यू. कोई है कहीं गुंजाइश बताओ जिसमें तुम्हें लगता है कि इसमें कम नंबर है?
सर लिखा ही कम है, मैं क्या बोलूं सर. पर सर जितना आता था मैंने अपने ओर से किया ही.
हाँ तो जितना
सर
लिखा
जितना आता था मैंने अपनी ओर से किया ही है.
तो हमने भी जितना आपने किया है उससे ज्यादा ही नंबर दे दिए. ठीक है कम नहीं दिए. तो इसलिए पढ़ लिया करो थोड़ा थोड़ा. ओके सो नेक्स्ट इज मनस्विनी. Okay, so now next part we'll do in the next session. So just a break for 5 minutes. Okay, so who is missing today? Just a moment, I will record your attendance, then we'll move to the next session. Demetrius,
Present, sir.
turn on your camera. Tridev, so Tridev is absent today.
Present, sir.
Tridev hai? Okay. So Manaswini,
Present, sir.
Adish, Yuvraj,
Present, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sanjana,
Present, sir.
Present.
Nehal.
Present, sir.
अपना कैमरा भी ऑन करते जाओ भाई. अतोय एब्सेंट है. देवांशी, देवांशी भाग गई.
No, sir, I am present.
अच्छा बेटे तो बोलो भाई. नंदिनी,
Present, sir.
क्षितिज,
Present, sir.
जानवी,
Present, sir.
शिवानी,
Sir. Present, sir.
शक्ति,
Present, sir.
रूपल, रूपल एब्सेंट. साहिबा,
Present, sir.
इशिता, नम्रता,
Present, sir.
तन्वी,
Present, sir.
युक्ता,
Present, sir.
आयुषी,
Present, sir.
वंशिका, and Vivek.
Present, sir.
So Rupal and Atoiba, these two are absent. So thank you all. So we'll join back after 5 minutes and we will evaluate rest of your paper.